joining Patrick-Goudreau from joyfulvegan.com. Welcome to Vegan Point of View. Some people say soy is not healthy for men or women or children or even the planet. People should avoid soy. That's one point of view. Here's my point of view. Soy is neither miracle food nor is it poison. It's a bean, like I said, like other plant foods, contains health-promoting nutrients. But let's take a moment to address the common negative claims against soy and put them to rest once and for all. One of the claims against soy is that estrogen levels in soy are harmful, and some people say soy is not good for you because of the estrogen. Let's be really clear. Soy is a bean. It doesn't contain hormones. Vertebrates, like humans and mammals and even insects, have hormones. Beans do not. So while there are hormones in cow's milk and goat's milk and sheep's milk and buffalo's milk and so on, there are no hormones in milk made from beans or nuts or seeds or grains for that matter. But nobody's talking about the hormones in animal milk. Claims about cancer and estrogen are true. Some breast cancer can grow in the presence of estrogen. But if you want to avoid actual excess estrogen from your diet, from the foods you're eating, then avoid eating vertebrates or anything that comes out of a vertebrae. The confusion and the misinformation stems from this. Soy contains isoflavones, which are often called phytoestrogens or plant estrogens. Phyto just means plant. Because the molecules are very similar in shape to estrogen molecules. So similar that they can fit into specially shaped estrogen receptors on the surface of our cells. But eating soy does not affect estrogen levels in the body. However, eating soybean-based foods may affect estrogen activity in the body, primarily in beneficial ways. Because phytoestrogens can occupy some of the estrogen receptors on our cells, they mitigate the effects of excess estrogen circulating in the body. This may explain why soy intake appears to be protective against breast cancer and other estrogen-driven cancers. So not only are there no links between soy creating or increasing cancer, it actually appears to be protective against estrogen-driven cancers such as breast. Further studies indicate that early consumption of soy, early in life, before girls hit puberty, appears to have the greatest protective benefits. I think they're finding this with all plant foods, to be really honest. Consuming them when we're young is so important. As for a link between soy intake and early puberty in boys and girls, researchers have looked for this link, but they have found no sign of this effect, though there is a link between the consumption of cow's milk and early puberty and breast and prostate cancer. Even the concern about soy formula for infants has turned up no negative effects. Nonetheless, of course, experts would recommend using soy formula as a last result. We should make sure human milk is being fed to newborns and babies first and foremost, but when that's not possible, soy infant formula is recommended as a healthy alternative. And as for men and soy, decreasing a man's testosterone, there is no evidence for this. I think there was one person who spread this around the internet. We'd have androgynous men all over Asia if this were the case. And I want to say one more thing about soybeans. An argument often used against soy, sadly often comes from environmentalists, is that the rainforest is being cut down to grow soybeans. Actually, much of the rainforest is being cut down for cattle grazing, for the meat industry, but it is also being chopped down to grow soy, but not for human consumption. Americans and Europeans cannot raise all the feed domestically that's needed to sustain their meat addictions. So agribusiness has started cutting down the rainforest, and the overwhelming majority of soy or corn or wheat for that matter grown is used to feed animals whom we then kill to consume. If you're worried about the rainforest being chopped down for grazing or to grow soy, the best thing you can do is to stop eating other animals. So in conclusion, from my point of view, eat a whole foods, plant-based diet, including whole soybeans if you want them. If you don't like them, don't eat them. Although if you want to learn to like them, I would recommend checking out my cookbooks and my recipes and my videos and of course the 30-day vegan challenge. Thanks for watching, everyone. If you like what you heard, please pass it on. Please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to this channel. You can support the production of these videos by going to joyfulvegan.com. You can view other point of view videos, and you can find more information about this topic in the 30-day vegan challenge. Until next time, for the animals, both human and non-human, this is Colleen Patrick-Goudreau. Thanks for watching.